thought it was really appropriate that my father was specifically born in 1920 and on November 2nd in 1920. So the year actually began, the year of 1920 began with the 18th Amendment to the Constitution. Anybody know what that is? Does anybody know what the 18th Amendment was?
Voting for women.
Women? No. The 18th Amendment created prohibition. So I think we should drink to that. The 18th Amendment created prohibition. But they repealed it at some point later. Also that year, the League of Women Voters was founded in Chicago, and later the 19th Amendment was passed, which did guarantee women the right to vote. So all of you women in here who are thinking about whether should I go vote this year on November 2nd, also this year, November 2nd, there are a lot of people who fought for your right to vote. But anyways, so the 19th Amendment was passed, and that all led up to November 2nd, the day that Harold was born, the first time women had the right to vote. And knowing what a feminist our father was, we've decided this is pure karma. This was meant to be. Another interesting law was passed in the year 1920. It stated that the U.S. Post Office may no longer send children via parcel post. So, given how poor our mail service is, we decided that was a really good idea. A few other interesting tidbits about the year in which my father was born, which actually relate to his interests. The NFL was founded in that year. Babe Ruth was traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees. A day that will live in infamy for the Red Sox fans that are here. And the first radio set was sold by Westinghouse. And in fact, on the day that our father was born, the first commercial radio station began broadcasting on Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So AK, right. Very good. She knows. She remembers the name of the
Well, she was a year old by then.
So Harold bounced into the world in the beginning of the prosperous decade known as the Roaring '20s. And then the next decade, the '30s, he lived through the Great Depression. And then came the '40s, which is known for, of course, World War II, but also he met and married his wife Vivian. And later that decade, they had their first child, Barbara. And then came the less turbulent '50s, in which I was born, and Margie was born, and followed by Janie. And so, that created his family. So lately, when I don't know if you know, in the newspapers, we've been reading about the whole immigration debate and this thing called accident of birth. And so this means the idea that one may be entitled to certain privileges based upon their circumstances of birth. I would propose there's no greater privilege than to be born into a family that showers you with love, respect, generosity, and personal dignity, which both our parents did, which such selflessness and grace. So, as an accident of our birth, we Rudnick girls have been incredibly blessed. And so have the grandchildren.
And great-grandchildren.
And the great-grandchildren. Our father has taught us life's most important lesson. He taught us that there's no more important goal in life than to be surrounded by people you love. And he has lived this ideal every single day of his life. Family has always been his #1 priority. There was never any compromise. And Harold is indeed the first feminist I have ever known. There was nothing that he didn't think we girls could do, nothing that we couldn't aspire to, and if there were any way he could help us along the way, he was always there. If we tried to climb higher, he was there propping up the ladder. If we suffered, he was there suffering alongside us. We never heard the expression, "You can't do that." It was always, "Whatever is your heart's desire." So today, as we gather to celebrate your 90th birthday, Dad, which is a gift to every single one of us in this room, My heart's desire is to tell you how much I love you, how thankful I am for the lessons you've taught me in life, how much I appreciate your being my greatest cheerleader, and how much I desire to be celebrating many more birthdays with you. And that, Dad, is my heart's desire.
You're here.